Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Retro and welcome to another one of my weekly finds videos. We're gonna start off this week with some Sega stuff. On the left, 5 different Master System games and some Dreamcast games. First up is Galaxy Force, Zaxxon 3D, Fantasy Zone The Maze, Bomber Raid, and the last one is Poseidon Wars 3D. These are all at least uncommon or some even rare, and that's the reason why I picked them up. Then for the Dreamcast, Shenmue and Shenmue Part 2, and it also came with the guide. Oh, that's not in the screen. Here's the guide, and the secret section in the back is still sealed. That's actually a couple of pages that got made together with a little line. You can rip it open, so you have some more extra pages where they tell the end of the game, etc. And that's still sealed, so that's a nice little extra. Then for the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, nothing too spectacular. Mickey's Wild Adventure, quite a nice platforming game. Rayman, 2 games, Gran Turismo and Motor Tune 2. Pandemonium, and Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence. A year ago this game was worth at least double of what it is now, and that's all because of the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. This was a valuable game and it plummeted in value because of that re-release. Then some Super Nintendo cartridges. Super Mario Kart. It's raining like crazy, by the way. Don't know if you hear that in the background. Zelda and F-Zero. And then 2 complete Super Nintendo games. Super Metroid, the small box version, which is definitely harder to find than the big box version. It's usually the other way around, but this one is definitely harder to find. There's some stickers up here, but I'm gonna clean those off nicely so you don't see them anymore. Great game, Metroid, but you all know that. And Soul Blazer, cool RPG for the NTSC Super Nintendo. This did get a European release. There's 2 versions. One of them is German only, and that's the least desired version. It's not worth a lot. But there's also a Scandinavian version with English text, and that one is really rare and also really expensive. Game Boy, the original Game Boy games. Shadow Warriors Ninja Gaiden, one of my favorite NES games, and this is the Game Boy version. And actually this is a really hard to find Game Boy game. Addams Family, Bad and Rad, Skate or Die, and The Simpsons Bart vs. the Juggernauts. Then one mask item I got in. This is Jackhammer, one of my favorite trucks actually. This is a spare copy, so it's going to be for sale. Boxed in really good condition. So now a whole bunch of PC stuff coming in. After some heavy lifting, this is a big box of PC games, and they're all big box games. These are all going to be for sale. This was someone's collection, and I'm keeping 4 or 5 games out of the collection. The rest is all going to be for sale, and these are the ones that will be for sale. First up is Lord of the Rings, and this is an original or an old school Lord of the Rings, pre-movies. You can see this is a 3.5-inch disc version, and when you look on the back you see it's really old DOS graphics. Looks really cool. It's quite a hard to find game, I found out, and it's going to be in my store, so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, be sure to check it out. Next up is Dick Tracy, and this is also a really rare game because I couldn't find a single sold copy in the last 6 months on eBay Europe or eBay America. So for PC collectors, this one is definitely a gem. Then there were a whole bunch of Star Wars and Star Trek games. First up is Star Wars Rebel Assault. Then we have Star Wars Rebellion. Nice Millennium Falcon on the front. Oh, this is upside down. Star Wars Monopoly. It's probably a later release. Star Wars TIE Fighter. Really heavy, so it has a lot of floppies. Star Wars X-Wing. This is Star Trek, Birth of the Federation. Star Wars again, X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter. Star Trek, Starfleet Academy. Star Trek The Next Generation of Final Unity. And Star Trek Klingon Academy. And then you see a whole bunch of games in here. Let me pick out the most special ones. Here we have European Air War Castles, Castles 2, Imperium Galactica 2, Galactica 2 by the way, Pirates, Gold, this is Overlord. Then we have Space Rogue, and this also is a really old game, and I couldn't find anything about it on eBay or anything, so not sure what the value of that one is. Then below here we have a really old version of Risk, also comes on a floppy, single floppy, as you can see, really small box. Really cool. The follow-up of the Lord of the Rings games I just showed you, this is the Two Towers, and check out here on the left you see Gimli, and he's either throwing his axe or trying to grab it, or they just made a stupid error in the artwork. Looks kind of ridiculous. Here we have Prisoner of Ice, just outside of the screen. Privateer 1, Privateer 2, Command, Aces of the Deep, EF 2000, Aces the Complete Collector's Edition. This is Fragile Allegiance, Dawn Patrol, Ancient War, no, the Ancient Art of War at Sea, June 2000, Caesar 3, Pax Imperia, Star Control 3, Aces of the Deep, and another version of Monopoly. So this is all the stuff that's going to be for sale. Now on to the stuff that I'm going to be keeping. Let's pick up where we left off. Big box PC games. These are the 5 I'm going to be keeping. Carmageddon TDR 2000. This is the, I believe this is the Carmageddon 2. Not sure if there was another version between the first Carmageddon and this one. I personally didn't like it. My brother really loved it. But yeah, it was a part of my childhood anyhow, so that's why I'm keeping it. Then Larry 1, 2 and 3 collection, and I've never seen this one before. It has the first 3 Larry games, Larry in the Land of the Lounge Lizards, Looking for Love in Several Wrong Places, and Passionate Petty in Pursuit of the Pulsating Pectorals. So that's a whole lot of alliterations. So classic Larry games. I'm sure you probably heard of these. My personal favorite was Part 7 because it had text, voice, etc. Next up is Monopoly. Original big box version with a floppy, really old school. South Park the game, played this a lot with killing the, how do you call those animals that you eat at Thanksgiving? Can't think of the name. Shooting those, at least. And then Lands of the Lord of Thrones of Chaos. Comes with a whole bunch of diskettes, floppies, and really cool old adventure game. Cool to have in the collection. Then we go on to Super Nintendo. 3 games this time. First up is Might and Magic 3 Isles of Terra. NTC only game, RPG. Didn't have it, so that's why I'm keeping it. Killer Instinct, this one I already had, but now it's complete with the music CD. I've had a lot of Killer Instinct copies over the years, but never with the CD, so finding a complete copy with the CD is quite hard. And then First Samurai, beat 'em up game. Not sure if it's a good game, but it's quite an uncommon game, that's why I picked it up. One game for the Sega Dreamcast, Soul Calibur, one of the defining fighting games, and definitely a must-have for the collection, even though it's not my favorite kind of game. Then for the Game Boy, Battletoads, the original version, Game Boy Color, Suske and Wiske, or Bob and Bobette. This is a Dutch/Belgian/French cartoon. No, it's not a cartoon, it's a comic book. They were really popular over here, but the Game Boy Color game really got sold badly, so that's why it's pretty rare. There's only one on eBay at the moment. And last one is Atomic Punk, which is the son of Bomberman, apparently, as the back of the box says. And it's an uncommon American Game Boy game, and I love the Bomberman games, that's why I'm keeping it. For the Nintendo 64, I found Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. The game is in mediocre condition at best. The box really got hit up and beat up all over the place, as you can see. But I didn't have it, so I'm keeping it for now. This completes my Castlevania collection as it goes for the main console releases. I tried this once and I really didn't like it, but that's because it's one of the first 3D Castlevanias, and they were really struggling with the mechanics back then. This is Tetris the board game. It's official by Nintendo, and basically how it works, you have a lot of little Tetris pieces over here. You flip this, then you get to see what piece drops, and You have to fight your opponent to get to the line first, or last actually. And then the last item for this week is something really special. This was actually marketed wrong and placed wrong on the Dutch side as a PlayStation, a fake PlayStation to make your own games. If you're a PlayStation collector or have some knowledge about PlayStation, when you can make your own games on a system, it tells you something. This is something special. It can either be a debug system or something else, and it was something else. It was this baby. Net Yaroze PlayStation 1. These were given out, or not given out, these were actually for sale for the public, and these are systems that you can use to create your own games. It came with a whole set of papers, etc., and it has a memory card and an unlocking card, etc., etc., etc. I'm going to make an unboxing video of just this set so you can see what comes with it. It has a really cool velvet black PlayStation 1. It's region free, and you can make your own games on these. The set is really rare, and I'm really happy to pick it up at this price because personally this is not the stuff that I collect, but finding it at this price, I'm not going to skip on it. So that was it for this week. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Be sure to check out my channel, a whole lot of new videos, incoming unboxing videos. Working on my first top 10 videos, and if you have some feedback on that, on the top 10 you want to see, be sure to leave a comment. So thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.